Hello, True Duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to the new card report. Continuing with the reveals from Duelist Nexus, we've got support for the full armored Xyz series of cards. This has been a pretty wild bag of cards in the past, so I'm sure this time around they're going to add some strong unity and a main deck function and so much more. I'm sure of it. Starting first with Xyz Armor Torpedo, a rank 3 warrior with 2500 attack and 800 defense, needing any 2 level 3s to summon. It has 3 effects. The first is that it's unable to attack if it has no materials, and it's able to detach both its materials to draw a card. The last effect only applies while it's equipped to something, however. While it's equipped to any monster, that monster, when attacking, makes the opponent unable to activate any cards or effects until the end of the damage step, and all face-up cards they control will be negated. And if the monster it's equipped to is specifically an Xyz monster, the opponent will be unable to target it with card effects. It's a cute start. An actual Xyz Upstart Goblin. And if you can get 2 level 3s on your board, you can use this to beat over a 3-man Appaloosa. That's something. But let's be real. This shit's used in exactly whatever deck is equipping Xyz to other Xyz to buff an actual boss monster. And it's not much else. As much as my inner Phantom Knight player sees 3s and just lasers into how I can maybe use it for something better, there's really nothing that this does generically other than bait Ash Blossom as the worst possible Ash target of 2023. Xyz Armor Fortress is up next, a rank 5 water machine with 2500 attack and 1800 defense who needs any 2 level 5s to summon. This one can be Xyz summoned onto any rank 3 or 4 Xyz monster while transferring the materials onto it, but it cannot be used as an Xyz material itself so long as it has materials, because Zeus exists, I suppose. Its first effect can detach 2 materials, or up to 2 I should say, to add the same number of armored Xyz cards with different names from your deck to your hand. And while it's equipped to an Xyz, that monster deals double battle damage. So you use some sharks or something, I think. I've never watched the anime. Make the rank 3, draw a card if you want, or just go straight into this guy here and then search 1 or 2 cards depending on how many you've detached. Seems solid. And the 2 of them equipped make for a solid boss monster, albeit a funny looking one since holding the 2 of them would probably be visually as goofy as a moblin throwing a bokoblin at you in Tears of the Kingdom. The search is solid, but now we just want to know what it is that you're equipping these to, right? So let's take a look at that. Full Armored Dark Lancer is a rank 7 water aqua with 2800 attack and 1500 defense, needing any 3 level 7s as Xyz material, but able to be Xyz summoned using a rank 5 or 6 Xyz you control with the materials being transferred. And similarly to the rank 5, it itself cannot be used as Xyz material so long as it has materials. This one gains 300 attack for each material it has though, and for each card equipped to it. And once per turn can target an Xyz card in your grave to add it to your hand, which refers to a card with Xyz in its name and not just an Xyz monster like I initially misinterpreted as when I first read it. Its last effect triggers if a monster you control becomes an equipped spell, and it makes it so you can target a card the opponent controls and attach it to this card as a material. It's cute. It's an interesting form of removal, and it does buff it up for your Unga Bunga style plays. I suppose they made it not work with Zeus for the sake of everyone who has to play it, except for the people who are playing it, if you understand. Play against it, no Zeus, bueno. Playing it, no Zeus, dude, what the fuck, why? That's the summary of it. I was hoping that it could equip the Xyz from your grave onto it with its effect, but I guess recovering cards from the graveyard is fine too. And I think it's a reference to C101. I never cared for Zexal, so I have no clue if what I'm talking about or looking at is even remotely relevant, but it looks just vaguely like C101, and it also has 2800 attack, so that's neat. It's pretty underwhelming broadly, but do you think a spell card could fix it? I don't. Let's take a look and see if I'm wrong. Xyz Entrust is a normal spell that Konami has entrusted to make this shit playable, and then they gave it the effect to add an armored Xyz card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then you can make the levels of 2 of your monsters that are face up that you control become either level 3 or level 5. And if it's in your grave, except for the turn it was sent there, you can banish it to target an Xyz monster you control that's currently equipped to a monster, and then special summon it. To, I guess, do the whole climbing routine again, which implies you're playing 2 of each of the monsters. That's a bold strategy. Kashtira Unicorn isn't banishing any of these anyways. You do not need 2, even in the current format, where all your boss shit needs 2. But hey, Konami says so. It's some nifty card art, but that's not anything I'm desperate to add to my hand with the rank 5 by any means. Impressively mid. Matter of fact, I'll give it an L. That's an L card, L design, L card. L, plus ratio. Up next is Full Armor Xyz, a normal trap for these fucking things that on activation immediately Xyz summons an Xyz monster, but also requires you to control an Xyz monster to activate. So that's cool. It can be banished from the grave to target an Xyz you control and equip it with another Xyz monster from either your face-up field or grave as well. And then when it's equipped, that Xyz as an equip will also give it the effect that it gains the attack of the monster that is equipped. So if the Xyz you equipped has 2500, it gains 2500. And if the monster would be destroyed, you can destroy the equipped Xyz instead. So that's how you equip them, with the grave effect of a trap card. No, it makes sense. Konami's playing off that meme that was popular 6 years ago in 2017 about how they kept reprinting Foolish Burial Goods, and now they're giving us some uses for all those copies we picked up all those years ago. Just 6 years too late. These are all L's in the competitive sense, which for my dumb ass is of limited interest. It's an unga-bunga strategy, which is fine, but instead of making an actual solid strategy in a main deck, they give us a spell that makes your monsters level 3 instead of, you know, level 3 monsters. That's the type of deck we're looking at. I won't lie, I can't remember any other full cards beyond the full armored Xyz, and I think that water rank 5 that was decent in 2014, but we didn't get printed in the TCG till like 2019. I could also be completely off field. Maybe there's a whole archetype here that I've completely omitted from my brain that is decent with these tools, but I don't know of it and I've never seen it, so I assume they're not that great, and these don't look like they'll be making it any better. Take from that what you will, but my summary was already said last time. It's L plus ratio. Fucking dunked on, nerds. And also from Age of Overlord to just, you know, synergize beautifully with all these Xyz is Synchro support. Synchro Rumble, a completely unrelated card I'm throwing in because there's a fuck ton of new cards and I do what I want, to be perfectly honest. This is a new normal spell that's really just Synchro Dragon Return of the Dragon Lords, as in it can target a level 7 or 8 dragon synchro monster in your grave and revive it. But it is slightly better because it can also revive any tuner as well. And in the graveyard, if a Crimson Dragon or a level 7 or 8 Synchro Dragon would be destroyed, you can banish this instead, which does make it searchable, since Crimson Dragon can search anything that mentions Crimson Dragon. And you know that they know what's up since they put the single coolest Signer Dragon on the art. Definitely has nothing to do with the fact that by putting Red Dragon Archfiend on the card, it kind of ties in with the new Red Dragon Archfiend structure deck that's come out. No, nothing to do with that. It's because Konami knows to cater to my Craig Fee Inner Dragon bias. Was it random to include this card in a video about the Xyz cards? Yep, but I had to include it because I need at least one good card to put in this video. Boom! Get fucking roasted, Full Armor Xyz players. And before I have to deal with the comments and the consequences of people, you know, upset that I've insulted their archetype, I'm instead going to move on to today's sponsor. Thanks today go, as always, to our sponsor, the LIFD Magnetic Display, the best way to support my channel currently and the true Duelist approved way to display all your favorite cards. Like maybe you were looking for C101 because it's topical and you know you own a copy somewhere but you couldn't find it. So instead you just grab your lone copy of Full Armored Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon and then think, you know what, fuck it. You're gonna use it to make Zeus anyways and just throw 2 Zeuses in as well. Because sometimes you just gotta flex that you got the Zeus power. No, they're not Starlights because I'm a peasant. I am built wrong. But you can be built right and display your cards right by using my promo code YGOSTRATS15 at the checkout or clicking the link in the description of this video to have it apply automatically. Regardless of how you do it, pick yourselves up one of these bad boys today. Thanks, as always, go to LIFD for the sponsor, and thank you for watching. And so that wraps it up for this new card report, just covering some of the new cards in this one. The regular update will be out on Friday, as always. So, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button to YGO Strats, and doing so will immediately impress your smoking Italian wife. And most of all, it'll make you a true duelist.